I don't know that any of us were aware of the criticism. Maybe Roger was. We knew that people were saying that the Byrds were finished, I think. But we were also hearing every time we played that we were so much better than the other band. That we were actually like guys who could put on a show. We could actually play with intensity, and we could stay in tune, and we all united behind the music. Like whatever our personal differences might have been, when we stepped on the stage, it was together. I mean, you can even hear in that Fillmore document, it's a kick-ass band. Unbelievable energy, you know. I was telling Sumi the other day, we got out that CD and listened to it for the first time in a long time. And I told her, I haven't played with anybody like that since then. I mean, like, here we are at the gates of hell. Let's play. No matter what, when we step on that stage, it's serious. It's in your face. You play like your life depends on it. Everybody played like that. And what we were hearing from the people around the band that had been around the band before, even from day one, was like, God, you guys are a great live band. So we didn't feel any pressure to be the old band recording-wise. There was no way we could do that. That's amazing. You listen to all those early Byrds records. Why would anyone want to duplicate that or copy that? It would be like ridiculous. So we tried to bring that live feeling, that kind of camaraderie, musical camaraderie that we had. We tried to bring that to the records because we knew that was our strength. And these are not things that we talked about constantly. These are just things that were sort of understood, you know, and that's why I think there may have been some criticism, is that it didn't sound anything like the old Byrds sound. And, you know, we could say, should we have tried to sound like the old band? Or should we have just played the way we played? I think to Roger's credit, he saw it as an evolution. I think he very wisely saw that who's ever in the band affects the sound. When that person or persons are gone, then the sound can't be the same. You know, what's the point of, okay, Crosby's gone, let's get a guy who sounds like Crosby? What's the point? You know? So, some of that backlash may have been people loved those early Byrds records, and rightfully so. And then Sweetheart, everybody went, what the hell is that? What happened to Turn, Turn, Turn? What happened to 8 Miles High? It's Close Up the Honky Tonk? What the hell is that? So we lost a lot of people, right? And then the guys who were doing what they felt was the real country, right, may have felt like, oh man, what are those guys doing? They don't know. They don't know what real country is. We know what real country is. So there may have been some of that, you know. There are I see three distinct periods in the band. There's the early brilliant pop records, even though they were folk. But those are just those are masterpieces. There are some masterpieces in there, and the first 5 guys are there. And then when the personnel changed and it became country rock, that's another period, you know. And there's no doubt some brilliance in there, absolute brilliance in there, especially on the part of Clarence. And the final period, where they almost became like historians or musicologists saying, this is real American music. We want to show you real American music. This is it. You know, so there are people who swear that the best period is the third one, and others who say, oh, no, that secondary period, that country period, oh, that was the best. And I think most people will say, oh, the early records are just phenomenal. They're just, you know, up there where they were rivaling the Beatles. All that nonsense. Because once the Byrds stopped recording, say like after Rock and Roll Star, and started doing country music, was there a threat to the Beatles anymore? You know, was there any kind of threat to anyone? No, it was completely new territory. So yeah, there was all kinds of stuff flying around, but I don't think any of us took it seriously.